Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Sarah and this is Like So Amazing. Today's video is going to be my October makes video. I actually managed to get quite a lot of things made last month, so I was really pleased with that. It's November the 2nd today, so I've got a busy weekend. It's my birthday on Saturday and we're going up to London to see a show, and I am going to pay a visit to Liberty while we're there. So you never know, I may come out with some fabric. It won't be my fault, it's my birthday, what can I say? Anyway, moving on to the things I've made this month. I'll start with the things I'm wearing. Firstly, I've got my Jenna Cardigan by Patterns. So I made the cropped version. I'll pop a picture in anyway so you can see it properly full length. So I made a cropped version with long sleeves. Long sleeves because I'm always cold. If I'm going to have a cardigan on, I'm going to want my wrists covered. So I made the long sleeve version, but the cropped version because I think it's really nice to kind of have that nipped in silhouette. And I've made it with the prim snaps rather than buttons because I thought that buttonholes was going to be a bit of a nightmare on jersey. And I've got this lovely textured, almost cable knit style. It's a Ponte weight jersey that I got from Higgs & Higgs at the Knitting and Stitching show. And I've also used just a black ribbing for the bands. But the ribbing wasn't wide enough to do the bottom cuff, so I've just done that in the same fabric. And I'm also wearing my Ogden Cami. So this is the latest one I've made, and this fabric is from Guthrie & Garney. It's a petrol blue peach skin. Always really nice to have little basic tops in the wardrobe. So that's the first two makes. When I was at the Sewing Bee Live, I got the Nina Lee Portabello trouser pattern, and I also got some beautiful wool and silk fabric from Holland and Sherry, who tend to only supply to Savile Row, but they had a big stand there. So I married the two up, and I have some lovely work trousers. They might be a little bit creased here because I have been wearing them a lot, but they're lovely. They're really high-waisted and nicely nipped in at the waist. They've actually got a concealed zip on the back, and then I've just done a silver button on the back. They've got pockets in them, and I did mine in similar colour but just a cotton fabric, just so I didn't add too much bulk. But really pleased with them. Didn't change anything about the pattern. It fit me perfectly out of the pack, so really love those. I have got a full pattern review on my blog of the Nina Lee trousers. I took really good care making them actually, because it was such lovely fabric and I didn't want to ruin it. For example, I hand stitched all of the facing down on the inside of the waistband and did a blind hem stitch on the hems because I didn't want you to be able to see any stitching on the outside, and it's worked really nicely. So very pleased with those. And to go with the trousers, I also got the Nina Lee Bloomsbury blouse pattern, and I decided to make that. I wasn't entirely sure about it at first, if I'm honest, because it's very ruffled and I kind of didn't want to look like a clown. But I had a look on Instagram to look at the versions that other people had made, and I decided that I really liked the smaller ruffle version. I think the bigger ruffle would just swamp me, but I liked the version with the smaller ruffles. And I'd got the most beautiful fabric from Stoff and Still. So this all seemed to come together beautifully. The Stoff and Still fabric I got at the Knitting and Stitching show. Stoff and Still were exhibiting there. And this is, they said it was a viscose. I'm not entirely sure. It may be a blend with some cotton, because it's actually a lot thicker than most viscoses. It's got these beautiful colours in it. Sorry, it's really creased. It's just out of the washing machine and I haven't ironed it yet, and I hadn't thought about the ruffles and how I'm going to get those pressed, but we'll get onto that. I think this works beautifully in this blouse. Really love the colours of it. Next time what I will do is I will lengthen the sleeves just slightly. They aren't actually meant to be full length sleeves. They come up just short, but as I said before, I get cold. I like my wrists covered. But I did the version with the ruffled sleeves, the yoke ruffle, but I took out the neck ruffle because I thought that might be a little bit too much, and I actually really like the collar as it stands like that. The back of the blouse buttons up, so you've got a gap in the back yoke, and then it buttons up all the way, and then you've got the buttons running down the back. I got these most beautiful buttons from the Knitting and Stitching show as well, and they are from Beyond Measure, and they're ceramic and they're painted, and they're all tested so they're machine washable, which is amazing. And when I put them against this fabric, I knew that they were a match made in heaven. So they were always destined for this blouse. Yeah, really, really pleased with it. And they work together beautifully as an outfit for work. If you saw my video from the handmade fair, you will have seen the Panda fabric that I bought from Josie from Fabric Godmother. It is just adorable. So it was always destined to be a Linden top because they look great in novelty print. So here it is. I thought that the pandas might be a little bit too much all over, so I just did a plain black ponte sleeve and then the front and back are the pandas. And then I also used just some black ribbing for the cuffs and the neckband. So yeah, love that one. Very cute and very snuggly for the winter. The only thing I might do with this is I might go back and recut the neckband and put that on again. It's probably this ribbing was just a little bit stretchier than I was used to, so it does stretch out quite a bit, so I might go back and redo that. I also made my first Astoria top. So this is one of the Seamwork patterns, and it's just a little cropped jumper if you haven't seen it, and I think there are 2 different sleeve lengths. I've gone for the long sleeves obviously, and I used the leftover fabric that I had from Higgs & Higgs from the Jenna Cardigan for that. So don't know if you can see this black top. I really, really love it. It's already become a workwear staple, and I only made it last weekend. I think I've worn it twice this week, but it's great to put over a dress, specifically the Moneta dress. It works beautifully with it because it just comes to the waist point. It's just a nice way to kind of layer up and keep smart looking, but you're also really cozy. So again, with this one I just made the neckband out of the black ribbing as well. And the only change I made to this, I hear a lot of people talk about this and saying they have to lengthen it, but I thought, look, I'm quite short anyway, I'm just going to give it a go for the first try and see how I get on. And actually the length is fine on me, it doesn't bother me at all. But the only thing I found, I've actually got really quite slim wrists, but I found it was very, very tight at the wrists. I thought that it was actually going to be really difficult to sew. I thought just getting that really tiny opening underneath the sewing machine was going to be a little bit tricky. But I also thought the cuffs would be a really good idea. And I know that Amanda from I Sew A Lot recommended to do cuffs on it as well. So I just cut some cuffs and just put them on, and it's perfect. It means that it sort of sits a little bit lower on the hand on me. So I would definitely do that for any future ones, and I have got a few planned already. It looks like I have been going quite nuts with the jersey this month. I also made an Agnes dress. So this is the Tilly and the Buttons Agnes top pattern that I have hacked into a dress, and I know on her website and there's a few other blogs where people have hacked it into a Moneta style dress. So that's where you've got a gathered waistband onto the Agnes top bodice, but I thought it'd be quite nice to do sort of almost a bodycon dress, so it's you're still keeping that shape and it's just sort of going down into kind of a pencil skirt sort of shape. So I just drafted that myself, and I figured I didn't want it to be too figure hugging because I didn't want to show every lump and bump. So I wanted to find kind of a textured knit, and actually that black cable knit would have been great. But I found this fabric in Fabricland, and it's got these sort of grey textured bubbles almost on it. So it's quite thick anyway, and then you've got the bobbles on it as well. So it makes it really, really cozy. I made these sleeves just slightly shorter, and then I've got some grey ribbing which I used for the neckband and the cuffs. But yeah, really, really pleased with that. I think it looks lovely with kind of tights and boots. So again, that's going to be a great one for the winter, which it is definitely winter now. If you want a weather update from the UK, it's cold. It's been foggy and it's been freezing cold today. So that's it. We are properly into winter, I think. But having said that, I'm going to show you my last summer dress of the year. So I bought some fabric when I was in Birmingham a couple of months ago from Guthrie Garni, which, as you all know, is my favourite fabric shop. I got this beautiful jade green, Japanese cotton lawn, and I really wasn't sure what to do with it, and I sort of had various different ideas on the go. But then it occurred to me that I've got the By Hand London Anna dress pattern all cut out, and I still haven't made it. So I had a look at it and I thought I could fit in the shorter version of the dress from this fabric, because I was initially thinking a top or a, you know, blouse, that sort of thing. I had just enough to make the Anna dress, and I absolutely love it. Here it is. This beautiful jade green colour background with this lovely orange flowers and then these cute little birds. interspersed. And I've just done the standard Anna dress pattern from the packet with the sort of slashed neck and the kimono sleeves, invisible zip on the back. So up until last weekend I hadn't worn it out yet, but I did wear it along to the Sew Brum meetup last week, and I think I wore it in last week's video as well, so you would have seen it then. But yeah, so pleased with this, really love this pattern. Next time around what I'll do, I think, is not have the facings and just line the bodice, because I think that will just look a little bit better. I don't love facings, if I'm honest, so I'll probably do it that way. But yeah, apart from that, I don't think I'll really make any changes. It's just a lovely dress. So that's all of my makes for the month. I have been a busy girl. This weekend, as I said, I'm going to go to Liberty, so we'll see what I can find there. But I did buy an awful lot of fabric last week at the Sew Brum meetup. So if you haven't seen the video from that, I will link it here so you can have a look at all the beautiful things I bought from there. So far, I think the Ogden Cami is the only one that I've actually made something from. And so yes, I've got lots and lots of exciting sewing plans this month. I do have lots of fake fur bridesmaids coats I need to get made this month, so that does mean that sewing for myself is going to take a little bit of a backseat, so I'm probably not going to be quite as prolific next month. And actually I've got some really big projects I want to do, so coat making, a ball gown, that kind of thing, so it's not necessarily going to be quick easy makes, but I'll probably have an Astoria or two in there as well. And also, now that we're in November, we've got the Bimble and Pimble Instagram challenge, which is the BP Sewvember photo a day challenge, which is specifically related to sewing. If you're not taking part already, go over to Instagram and have a look at that. I'll leave the link below. I'm not going to necessarily post every day like I did with Sew Photo Hop and Me Made May, because it's a busy month and I'm not sure if some of the prompts are going to be the same as previous photo challenges, but I will do my best with that. Anyway, I hope you've had a lovely day and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what you're going to be making this month, and I will see you very soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.